The league has changed. I think we can all agree that the new champions are not as good as what we used to get back in the glory days. I believe the game and the community are losing the creative soul they once had. So what happened to the soul of League of Legends? Many of the champions in League don't have that same feel anymore. And I think one of the main reasons that the game has declined in recent time is because of the champions. When they aren't given the time and passion needed to flourish, you end up with dull and unimaginative designs. I believe that the loss of focus on champion identity and design work has been fully reshifted into being about the rank system. And I hate that because it took away from a lot of the fun and uniqueness from maining a champion. Because now the only focus is on the champion's kit and how they fit into the meta. It's slowly becoming a dying opinion to just play champions for fun and because you connect with them. Not because of how they fit in the meta, but because you enjoy playing them, win or lose. When you enjoy a champion, it's a lot easier to lose gracefully because you're actually having a good time. In contrast, when you hate a champion or you're just playing them because they're meta, then when you're losing or getting your ass kicked, you're gonna have a really shitty time because in reality, you didn't want to play Amumu. You wanted to play Lee Sin. But he's not meta for your rank. So because of that, you don't play him. And because of this, you'll tilt and you'll go 1-5 and flame your teammates for being a bunch of brain-dead clowns. And now, 5 people's game has been ruined because you had a rough time playing something you didn't want to play in the first place. You did it all for the LP. When if you would have just played Lee Sin, you would have had a lot more fun and not tilted as much. And another aspect of that is that keeping a level head and playing what you enjoy with intention is one of the surest ways to climb, with due time of course. And you'll enjoy that climb so much more. And I want to bring this back to the design of the champions. Fiddlesticks is one of the best designed champions in League of Legends. The design is truly inspired. A demon trapped inside of a cage made out of miscellaneous scrap equipment and a drop cloth over the top with a set of keys hanging from his neck. Just looking at this guy will give you at least 5 questions. Why is the demon trapped in a cage? What do the keys unlock? Where did he come from? Why does he look like that? And why is his voice so fucking good? I swear, this pile of sentient scrap metal has no right to sound this fucking good.
Brother, please don't hate me.
Fuck, it gets me every time. I don't know how much this guy got paid for this performance, but whatever it was nowhere near enough. And his kit is also just as good. His passive has him placed around a bunch of fucking fake scarecrows to jump your ass in the jungle. He has a fear on all of his abilities if he's out of sight, and truly frightening, if you don't have vision on him, then he can jump over a wall with his ultimate and wipe out your entire team in a matter of seconds. Another good example is Kindred. I swear I have watched this exact video 10,000 times because of how much I enjoy voice lines. All of them are fucking phenomenal, and I could have said the same thing about Fiddlesticks, because they're also just equally as good. And a design being a variant on the Grim Reaper is insanely inspired. The idea of a lamb leading you to a peaceful, calm death if you choose to go willingly, and a duo wolf hunting and eviscerating those who fight against the passage of time. I also love how their story hints that they used to be one being, the Gray Man, a literal Grim Reaper who was so lonely that he split himself in 2 so that he could have a friend. Is that not some of the saddest shit you've ever heard? And their kit follows it up. Her ultimate literally stops everyone inside from dying, ally or foe alike. And she has to collect marks from killing champions in camps based on when it's their time to die. I also think it's perfect for the Grim Reaper character to have a variant of infinite scaling. Because, they're literally the embodiment of death. Yes, they should be extremely powerful in the late game. And they're just so interesting. I loved reading their stories, discovering the Gray Man and the bizarre Shakespearean theater plays they might be tied to, including the fact that they both wear an ornate mask of the other's face, showing their duality but also their connection to one another. But as I said earlier, the game doesn't have this uniqueness to its champion designs anymore. 90% of the time, if they are releasing a new champion, it's gotta be some pretty, basic bitch who's good for selling pool party skins. A great example of this is Yunara, the character whose first skin was pool party adjacent, and I know it's not the same, but come on, let's be honest here. Alright, a spa and a pool party is not that different. And also, look at her design. Try to name one meaningful when you look at her, because all I have is, why does she look like a fucking background character? There's no key detail that stands out, just like, wow, look at that. It's not that interesting. It's boring as hell. She's just some generic female monk lady, possibly, wearing some baggy clothes and like a somewhat monk outfit, whatever the fuck that shit is. This champion looks like a side character who would show up in a Yasuo or a Kali story, not as a main character, but just as some generic cannon fodder. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying she's impossible to like. I just feel like she was rushed, like they possibly started off with a cool monk idea, but then got rushed to meet a deadline and not given enough resources to actually make it shine. She has a lot of squandered potential that they could have done with her. Or, better yet, just make another fucking monster character. Why are we in a drought for monster characters? And no, Zehen doesn't count. He's just a gray, sexy human. I mean, look at this man. He has abs with a physique hand-chiseled by God himself. Name one part that's actually monstrous about this guy. And no, his skin and eye color does not count. That's racist. There is literally nothing. Watch, Pool Party Zehen will be coming out this summer, where they will literally only change his skin and eye color and give him a Speedo to wear. Because that's all you have to do. And then they can milk every last dollar he's worth. Also, be honest with me. When you saw these two come out, were you excited? Did you want to read their stories and listen to their themes? Or instead did you go, please, dear God, don't be another Mel or Ambessa. I can't take any more of these bullshit overtuned fucking champions. And I haven't read their stories either, because I'm not gonna. They probably suck. And something else that also pisses me off a lot is when they remove things that I do love. I hate that they reworked my Space Dragon, and they ripped him away from my hands and put an imposter in his place. Old Ace Soul wasn't popular. He wasn't meta. He was the definition of a niche pick. His kit was insanely unique and bizarre, with a playstyle not really offered by any other champions. His entire kit worked around his stars, and if you knew how to play around them, you had a really strong and versatile kit. And I get it, you might not have played him, but imagine your favorite champion, whoever it is, got changed, reworked into something completely different. Imagine yourself as someone who mained Aurelion Sol, played 100 or more games with him, got attached to him. A good example is if they took Cho'Gath in all of his health stacking Void Mage tank glory and made him into some generic armor stacking tank with none of the scaling or mage abilities that he has now. You'd look at him and be like, why the hell did you lobotomize my boy? He doesn't resemble himself anymore. And real quick, side tangent, I hated them getting rid of mythic items, and I get it, most of them were not that balanced. I loved how funky and unique the passives were. A good example was Duskblade, and I know, just bringing it up made a lot of ADCs remember some forgotten PTSD. But if you were an assassin player like me, then you were eating good because you had 3 or 4 great mythic items to pick from. Best of which being Duskblade. If you don't remember, Duskblade was an assassin item that gave invisibility on champion takedowns, which gave assassins a ton of outplay potential and safety in team fights. I perma-built this shit on Kha'Zix all the way until it got removed, and when it did, I wept at the loss of my beloved Duskblade. And I mean, there were a ton of great mythics for almost every other role. Good examples were Turbo Chem Tank, Prowler's Claw when it had a dash, Gale Force, and Everfrost. The playstyles and freshness these items allowed for was amazing. I and many others loved trying off-meta builds with them and watching the chaos that would ensue. And I know this isn't really a comprehensive analysis of League of Legends and its changes, but I just made this video because I adore this game. I adore the champions, and I miss being excited for new champion releases, because I haven't been that way for at least a couple years now. They've been very boring recently, in my opinion. And it's sad, because the game to me will never be as fun, unique, or engaging as it was. And for this reason, League of Legends has changed.